Alright, you guys, this is going to be raw, uncut. I'm not going to really edit this video, so it's not going to look the greatest, it's not going to sound the greatest. I just hope y'all can hear me. Alright, I got my AC on, y'all going to hear the AC, all that good stuff. It is what it is, y'all. It is what it is. But the premise and the purpose of this video is I wanted to talk about the fear. Everybody's in fear. Everybody's talking about DoorDash with this whole employees thing. And my take on it is DoorDash hiring W-2 employees is going to fail, just like every other thing that they try to implement is going to fail. It's a desperate attempt, right? And the desperate attempt is due to them trying to get orders fulfilled. They realize that earn by time is not working. They realize that the tier system isn't working. Hell, Top Dasher didn't even work. Like, for real. Just because you got a couple of YouTubers who said that, you know, Top Dasher is the way to go, you know, and they made more money and blah, 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 that's only a handful of people. When I'm out and about in the real world, like talking to drivers in real time, 90% of the drivers, if not more, have a low AR. Most of them have a low. Some of them that have a high AR, because anybody who's been doing this longer than just like a year or so, you know that a high AR to us was anything like in the 30s or 40s. That was considered high. You know what I'm saying? Like anybody who's been doing this long enough, you know that. You know that a true low AR was like single digits. That was a true low AR, right? So don't be afraid, man. People gotta stop being afraid, gotta stop worrying, gotta stop thinking that, you know, this is the end. And, you know, I'm seeing things on Reddit, I'm seeing, you know, things in different groups that I'm in, and they are panicking. They're thinking that this is gonna be the end of DoorDash and we're not gonna be able to be independent contractors anymore, and this, that, and the third. And bro, let me tell you something. There's always gonna be a need for the independent contractor, because that's how they make their money. That hourly thing is gonna fail. I'm gonna tell you why it's gonna fail. Let me explain. Because some people think that it's good because they say they're gonna pay for gas, they're gonna pay for what they said, gas and miles, right? You're gonna get a health plan and all this other good stuff, right? Now, y'all might see my camera shaky, but it is what it is. But, bro, let's be honest. Let's keep it real. What is that gonna do? What is that gonna do for anybody? First of all they're gonna do is do the simple bait and switch like they always do. They're baiting you in, right? Oh, we're gonna pay hourly. But that hourly, that money that you're gonna be getting for maintenance and all of that, it's gonna be your own money, because they're gonna make all the big orders come to you. All the orders with tips on them are gonna come to you, and guess what? They tell you you're gonna get the tips, but you're not gonna get the tips, bro. You're not gonna know. You have no idea knowing. Even now, we still don't really know if we're getting all of the tips. How do we really know, right? So you think they're gonna give the tips to hourly drivers? Anybody who's gonna be a W-2 employee, that means one, there's no more active time. That means they have to pay you for every time you are technically on the clock. So while you're sitting there waiting for an order, they have to pay you. So what do you think that means? Yes, are you gonna still get trash orders? Of course. But a lot of the big tipped orders, they're going to start to give them to those drivers. Those catering opportunities, the few that are left, are going to go primarily to those W-2 drivers. Why? Because that's DoorDash's way of being able to take those tips and then finesse it and use those tips to then pay those same hourly drivers all that extra money. That's what I mean by the bait and switch. That's how they're going to pay for your health insurance. That's how they're going to pay for all of that. They're going to use money that was already supposed to come to you. Because when a customer tips, they don't tip DoorDash, they tip the driver. So that's what I mean by the bait and switch. Don't be afraid, y'all. Don't be afraid. This is going to fail like everything else. People are going to do it, especially anybody who's ever been an actual independent contractor and takes this on and tries this out. I promise you, those will be the people who will be the first ones to go. The other ones who don't do it as a the other ones who's never done it as an independent contractor, this might be their first time ever doing it. They might get them, but guess when they're gonna open their eyes and realize is when they run into a driver in real time. When they run into a driver in real time and they ask that driver, how's it going? And they start talking. And then that driver may ask them something, or they may ask that driver, are you hourly like me? And that driver's like, hourly? You work for DoorDash like me? Don't work for DoorDash? Nah, I'm an independent contractor. And then that's when that conversation is going to come into play. People do gig work for freedom. Freedom and flexibility is the number one reason why we do what we do. You take that away from a gig worker and you make them into a W-2 employee, bro, it's over. It's not gonna work because no one's gonna want to give that up. I don't care how much you're paying them, because at the end of the day, you're still using your own vehicle. You still have expenses. It doesn't matter if they give you reimbursement for fuel and they give you all this stuff. That doesn't matter. You still have maintenance, which they claim that they're going to give you some money for as well. We'll see how that works. But at the end of the day, you still have those things. And then you also, what they're not thinking about is what happens when the driver's car goes down. What happens when that driver's car goes down and that driver's car got to be in the shop? Most drivers don't even have the money for maintenance. They can't even afford to be out. Literally. They can't fix nothing. But let's say that driver can fix it. But if that driver has a vehicle that, let's say the engine went out, the transmission, something serious, it's going to take time to get that car fixed. What happens then? Do they get PTO? Do they get paid time off? And if they do get paid time off, how can DoorDash afford that? A company who barely is making money. They claim they're barely making any money. And that's a whole nother discussion, because a lot of people, they fall for the okie doke when they hear these companies say they haven't been profitable. Listen, newsflash, guys, that's all for smoke and mirrors. That's for the tax purposes. That's tax purposes. The company cannot grow if they're not somewhat profitable at some point. They can't grow. So, I want y'all to just sit and think about what I'm saying. Stop being afraid. Stop being afraid. Nothing is about to happen from this W-2 thing. Trust me. It's going to be like earn by time. It's going to be like everything else. Do I see earn by time going away? No. Earn by time, I feel like it's something that's going to be here. It's here to stay. There are drivers who like earn by time. It is what it is. It's not going to go anywhere. Do I think the tier system is going to go anywhere? No, I don't. I don't think that the tier system is going anywhere. They have to get people to take orders. But as far as this hourly thing, W-2 thing, don't worry about it, man. Everybody who's sitting there panicking, like South Park, they took out jabs. Like, bro, they didn't take nothing. They didn't take nothing. They can't hire enough people. They can't. Because for one, you have to understand, with a W-2 versus an independent contractor, that eliminates all that oversaturation. What do I mean by that? They can't hire and onboard more drivers than they need when they have to pay for them. You understand? This isn't an independent contractor where the contractor is left to pay for everything on their own. This is a W-2 employee that you now have to, by law, right? By law, you have to pay them a certain amount of money. You have to give them benefits, right? This is what people are not understanding. So when you talk about benefits and having to pay a certain amount of money, bro, all of that other stuff is out the window now. It's out the window. They cannot oversaturate now because they can't afford it. You see what I'm saying? And I'm sorry for all the lighting, y'all. I'm on my way to go pick up my baby girl, but I tried to use my phone and set the light in, but I don't know. It's all over the place. It is what it is. Y'all can hear me. That's all that matters. But all I wanted to say was my 2 cents. Don't worry about this W-2 thing. It too shall pass. If it doesn't pass and they just end up putting some W-2 employees in there, will it make things a little harder for us? Yes. Unfortunately, for independent contractors, it will make things a little harder for us. It is what it is. But if you've been doing this long enough, you've been able to weather the storm throughout all these different things. And this shall too be another thing that we're just going to weather the storm on it. That's it. That's it. Point blank, period. And I'm not even talking about multi-appers. I'm talking about even my DoorDash drivers that do just DoorDash. Even people who do just DoorDash, they will find a way, because that's human nature. Human nature is built in us. It's in our DNA to survive. That's why when you hear people say survival mode, it's built in us to survive. And that's exactly what DoorDash drivers are going to do. So don't be worried about this, y'all. But I'm out. Get down in the comment section. Let me know what y'all think, y'all thoughts. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Share. Please share this content if y'all don't mind. And I was just firing off the hip on this one, y'all. I'm out. Peace.